Good morning, my dear boys. Yesterday, we covered some of the general topics in our 14 group elements. So, up to acids, reaction with acids, general reactions, reaction with acids, some of the reactions completed, boys. So, other reactions and other properties. Let us discuss today. See here. So, in our yesterday's class, there is a reaction with acids. That is the last element and lead. Reaction with HCl and reaction H2SO4 was completed. Now, so here, reaction with HNO3, these two are also very, very important, boys. So please note down. So when lead reacts with dilute HNO3 liberates NO gas and nitric oxide. Liberates NO gas, nitric oxide. If it reacts with concentrated HNO3, that liberates NO2 gas. Please identify the difference between these two. With dilute HNO3, NO is the product. And with concentrated HNO3, NO2 is the product. Remaining two are same ending, lead nitrate and water. But there NO and here is NO2. Okay? So note down those equations. Note down those two equations. Next subheading, action of alkalis. Action with alkalis. Reaction with alkalis. What is alkali? Water soluble bases. Just like our NaOH. Carbon, our elements, carbon, silicon, germanium, tin, lead. Carbon, direct reaction with NaOH is not possible. Carbon, direct reaction with NaOH is not possible. So see here, carbon with base, that is alkali. No direct reaction, but on fusion means heating it. But on fusion, it reacts with NaOH, see here, and liberates hydrogen gas. And liberates hydrogen gas along with Na2CO3 and Na. Very, very important reaction. But other elements, when reacts with NaOH, all liberates hydrogen gases. Hydrogen gas liberated it. See here, silicon reacts with NaOH gives sodium silicate. It is commonly called as water glass. It is commonly called as water glass, sodium silicate along with hydrogen gas. Next, germanium reacts with NaOH, that is an aqueous solution, gives sodium germate with liberation of hydrogen gas. Stannite, plumbite, plumbate, all those liberates hydrogen gas. Hydrogen gas. That means, so except carbon, so other elements directly reacts with alkali metals and liberates hydrogen gas. But carbon in fusion condition reacts with alkali metals and also liberates hydrogen gas. See boys, here sodium stannate and sodium plumbate. These two compounds are exist in hydrated formula like this. See here, Na2SNO3, 3H2O existed. This is this one. Na2SNO3, 3H2O hydrated compound. This is I am rewriting like this. Na2SNOH 6 times, a complex compound. Similarly, this one also, that is Na2PbO3, plumbate. 3 water molecules, hydrated compound exists. So this is I am rewriting as like PbOH 6 times. PbOH 6 times. So like this, a complex compound. That means hydrated salts are formed. Hydrated salts. See here, it is a sodium stannite, It is ATE, stannate. It is a plumbite, It is a plumbate. So that stannate and plumbate both are in hydrated compounds, boys. So hydrated compounds exist as complex compounds like this. So note down each and every reaction. Very, very important. Note down each and every reaction. Very, very important. Completed. Boys, completed or not? Yes. Complete yourself. Yes, I am waiting 1 minute. Yes, in notes also there. Okay, boys. Next subheading. Reaction with metals. That is the fifth one. Reaction with metals. Reaction with metals. See boys. So when our carbon reacts with metal, this gives respect to carbides. Respect to carbides. Beryllium carbide, aluminum carbide, like that. But in these compounds, carbon compounds with metals, so carbon has a different coordination number. Different coordination. See here, what is the coordination number of carbon in different compounds? So let us take a tabular form. That is compound of carbon. Compound of carbon. That is coordination number of carbon. Coordination number of carbon. See boys, first one. Already yesterday we draw the structure. That is Al2CH3 6 times. Al2CH3 6 times. Their carbon can form 5 bonds. So their coordination number of carbon is 5. Coordination number of carbon is 5. Next, second one, carbogen. Sorry, carborane. Carborane formula C2B10H12. Carborane. Here coordination number of carbon is 6 and 6 bonds phosphorate. Next one, that is lithium compound. That is LiCH3 4 times, or sometimes Li4CH3 4 times. So here coordination number is 7. Carbon coordination number is 7. Boys, it is very important. That is a Be2C, beryllium carbide. Beryllium carbide. It has anti-fluoride structure. Anti-fluoride structure. Okay. So it's here carbon coordination number is 8. So that means the maximum coordination number of carbon is 8. That is in Be2C. Be2C, beryllium carbide. Okay. So these are all carbon with elements and carbon with metals. Carbon with metals. Carbon with metals. So this is the compounds of carbon with metals and their different coordination number are possible. So maximum coordination number of carbon in its compounds is 8. So see here, next point. That is, what about silicon? When silicon reacts with magnesium, that gives Mg2Si. So with metal, silicon, magnesium silicide is the productant. Okay, so it is 2 Mg, boys. Next, other elements with metals gives respective alloys. Respective alloys means carbon non-metal. Non-metal with metal compounds are there. Silicon non-metal. So non-metal with our metal compounds are there. But others are metalloids or metalloids. Metalloids or metal. So that means they behave like metal. Metal plus metal combination gives mixed metals. Those mixed metals are called as alloys. So that's why alloys are products. So other elements with metals gives respect to alloys. Other elements with metals gives respect to alloys. But this is our reaction with our elements reaction with metals. So this is very important. Please consider this point. Okay. Next, subheading, reaction with non-metals. Reaction with non-metals. Reaction with non-metals. What are those non-metals? Hydrogen non-metal. Hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, halogens. So these are all non-metals, boys. When our elements react with these elements, what are the products? What type? What are the chemistry? First of all, our carbon, I'm explaining with hydrogen. Carbon with hydrogen, no direct reaction available. So note down the point. So carbon, that is our 14th group element. That is, it is a 14th group element with hydrogen, with H2, no direct reaction. That means our elements not directly react with hydrogen. Respect hydrates are not possible. Next, it is first finding. No direct reaction, but carbon with nitrogen, no direct reaction. Nitrogen also non-metal end, no direct reaction. But other elements can react with nitrogen. See here. So that is silicon with nitrogen gives SiN. So silicon nitride. It is 2 times N. Same silicon with nitrogen. The compound, other compound also possible. That is Si3N4. This compound also possible 2 times, 3 times N. So respect to nitrates are the product side. Respect to nitrites. Whereas in our group, only we are discussing about carbon and silicon in most of the cases. Okay, I'm restricted to carbon with silicon and carbon and silicon. Next, this is with nitrogen. Now let us discussion with oxygen. Okay, carbon reacts with oxygen gives carbon dioxide. Next, silicon Si reacts with O2 gives SiO2. Germanium reacts with oxygen gives ZeO2. Yesterday we covered it. Tin, Sn plus O2 gives SnO2. Lead, Pb plus O2 gives PbO. Monoxide. In all other cases, dioxides are the products. So that means all our elements with oxygen gives, so mostly dioxides, but lead only gives monoxide. Because lead plus 4, when compared to plus 4, plus 2 is more stable. So here lead plus 2 is very, very well. So less plus 2 is there. So lead monoxide is very, very stable. Okay, that is the product. Most stable compound for the product. So this is with oxygen. Now reaction with the sulfur. Sulfur also non-metal end. Our carbon up to red hot condition reacts with the sulfur. So these sulfurs are vapor sulfur and vapor phase end. Reaction with sulfur, vaporized sulfur, that gives CS2 is the product. Carbon disulfide. Similarly, silicon direct reacts with sulfur boys. That is 2 sulfurs that gives SiS2. CS2 and SiS2. Okay. Next, Sn, carbon silicon. Sn plus sulfur combination gives SnS is the product. Pb with sulfur combination gives PbS is the product. Lead sulfide is the product. So these are the sulfur compounds, boys. In these compounds, what are the structures? We are restricted to once again carbon. That is our carbon with carbon and that is what is our 14 group elements. That is a carbon and silicon. Here also I am restricting carbon and silicon. Now, what about the carbon dioxide and SiO2? Its conditions. And next, carbon disulfide and CS2. So carbon dioxide and carbon disulfide, and at the same time, so carbon disulfide comparison with SiC2. So let us observe one by one, boys. See here, first of all, carbon dioxide with carbon disulfide. Comparison. Between carbon dioxide and carbon disulfide. See here, boys. In carbon dioxide, carbon is the central atom. So with 2 oxygens, It is a sigma bond, it is sigma bond, it is a pi bond, it is pi bond. These two pi bonds are p pi bonds, boys. So carbon, it is a small sized atom. Because of small sized atom, p pi overlapping is possible. That is why carbon, in CO2, carbon gives two p pi bonds. Here the carbon is in sp hybridization linear shape. sp hybridization linear shape. Okay. So between molecules, between CO2 molecules, weak van der Waals forces are present. Between CO2 molecules, weak van der Waals forces are present. So weak van der Waals forces, because of that, they are easy to break and easy to enter into the vapor state. So at room temperature, CO2 is a gas. At room temperature, CO2 is a gas. So therefore, at room temperature, CO2 is a gas. There carbon is in sp hybridization. So p pi bonds are possible. So weak van der Waals forces between CO2 molecules. So that is easy to evaporate. That's why at room temperature, CO2 is a gas. But CS2. Here also there is a pi bonds. So these two also p pi bonds. Because carbon is the smaller atom that can form p pi bonds. Okay. Here also carbon is in sp hybridization. Here also carbon is in sp hybridization. But so molecular weight of CS2 greater than CO2, because sulfur has more molecular atomic weight. So that is why molecular weight of CS2 is greater than CO2. Therefore, strong van der Waals forces are present. Therefore, strong van der Waals forces. Because of strong van der Waals forces, it is in liquid stage. Therefore, it is in liquid stage. So therefore, at room temperature, CS2 is a liquid but low boiling point. But with low boiling point. So therefore, so easy to evaporate it, but which is in liquid stage. At room temperature, CO2 is a gas, but CS2 is a liquid with low boiling point. So that is why. So CO2 is a gas and CS2 is a liquid with low boiling point, volatile liquid, easy to volatile liquid. Okay, this is the structural distinguish point between CO2 and CS2. CO2 is a gas and CS2 is a liquid. Next about comparison between CO2 and SiO2. Sorry, not SiO2. Comparison between CO2 and SiS2. Comparison between CO2 and SiS2. Here the central atom is carbon, boys. Already all these points are available. Therefore, CO2 is a gas at room temperature. CO2 is a gas at room temperature. But CS2, silicon is the central atom. All connected atoms are also sulfide. So it is big in size, and silicon is a big in size. Therefore, p pi bonds are not possible. Already yesterday we covered this point. Silicon never form p pi bonds. Because of that reason, so pi bonds are not possible. So therefore, so SiC2, the structure of SiS2, the structure of SiS2 like this: silicon with sulfur, like this, and a polymeric structure is possible. Like this. Here silicon is in sp3 hybridization. So therefore, it is a solid in form, which is silky needle cell. which is silky needles are possible. So that is why, so CO2 is a gas and SiS2 is a almost solid and silky needle crystals are possible. So here carbon is in sp2, sp hybridization, all these are conditioned. So sp hybridization and gaseous state, sp3 hybridization and solid state. So this is about CS2 and SiS2. Now the comparison between CO2 and SiO2, CO2 and SiO2. That is comparison between CO2 and SiO2 structures. See boys, once again already I explained, carbon can form pi bonds, but silicon cannot form pi bonds. Because of that reason, so carbon, see here, C double bond O, C double bond O. So that means two p pi bonds are possible. Two p pi bonds. So sp hybridization. So weak van der Waals forces. Therefore, acts as gas at room temperature. So this is about CO2 boys. Already we covered that point. CO2 is a gas at room temperature because it is here the central atoms of carbon is in sp hybridization and can form two p pi bonds. Therefore, weak van der Waals forces are exist. Therefore, it is a gas at room temperature. See here the structure. So carbon. So sigma bonds. So it has two pure p orbitals, boys. So with unpaired electrons. So this carbon has pure p orbital like this with unpaired electron. This oxygen has one more pure p orbital with unpaired electron. These two are in sideways overlapping. That gives a pi bond. These two are involved in sideways overlapping. That gives a pi bond. Therefore, this structure is existent. This is about CO2. This is about CO2. Carbon is in sp hybridization. But in SiO2, so silicon not form p pi bonds. So it has a giant polymeric structure in it. With sp3 hybridization of silicon. With sp3 hybridization of silicon. See here, so silicon bonded with oxygen, continuous manner. So every silicon continuously bonded with oxygen. So silicon has 4 bonds, so 4 oxygens simultaneously connected. Between two silicons, one oxygen acts as bridge. Between any two silicons, oxygen acts as bridge. Like this structure is going on, boys. Here silicon hybridization is sp3 hybridization and giant 3-dimensional. So 3-dimensional polymeric, 3-dimensional polymeric structure. 3-dimensional polymeric structure. Therefore, it is solid in state at room temperature. So it is a solid in state at room temperature, boys. This SiO2 is the empirical formula of silica. Silica, empirical formula. It is the empirical formula of silica, boys. Very, very, very important. Therefore, CO2 is a gas at room temperature and SiO2 is a solid at room temperature. In CO2, carbon is in sp hybridization. In SiO2, silicon is in sp2 hybridization. Silicon is in sp3 hybridization. So it has a 3-dimension network solid. It is 3-dimension network solid. It is a three-dimension network solid is possible, boys. So that's why it is in solid stage. So this is the comparison between different compounds, boys. Okay. So next with halogens. So this is with oxidants. Next with halogens. Carbon only reacts with fluorine directly. Next, carbon reacts only with fluorine. So fluorine is non-metal, boys. Carbon reacts only with fluorine and form gives respective fluoro compounds and form respective fluoro compounds. Okay, see here, carbon with fluorine gives CF4. CF4. Similarly, 2 carbon plus 2F2 gives C2F4. It is tetrafluoromethane. It is tetrafluoroethylene. Tetrafluoroethylene. If it is polymerized, see here, if it is polymerized, gives polytetrafluoroethylene. So that means C2F4. What is its structure like this? So CF2 double bond CF2. It is a C2F4. So that is involved in polymerization and gives polytetrafluoroethylene. So it is called as simply Teflon. Boys, in our daily life, in our cooking ware, so Teflon coating is there. The Teflon, that is non-stick ware. The Teflon is like this. It has very high melting points, and non-sticky nature. That's why almost in our cooking vessels mostly non-stick ware with Teflon coating. So this is Teflon. What is that Teflon? That is a tetrafluoroethylene. Okay. So that means like this number of compounds are possible. Like this number of compounds. Next, silicon. So silicon can give only tetrafluorides. That is SiF4, SiCl4, SiBr4, SiI4. That means it gives only tetrahalides. It gives only tetrahalides. Okay, so this is about reaction with halogens, boys. So carbon only reacts with fluorine. So silicon only gives tetrafluorides. So this is a reaction with halides. So these are the general properties, boys. So reaction with metals, non-metals, halogens, others. These are all general properties, boys. Now let us discuss about the compounds of 14th group elements. So note down next subheading compounds. Next subheading compounds of 14th group elements. Next subheading compounds and compounds of 14th group elements. So in our compounds, only 3 types of compounds, boys. That is with hydrides, that is hydrogen compounds, hydrides, halogen compounds, halides, oxygen compounds, oxides. So these are the 3 varieties. Let us discuss one by one. So that is first one, hydrides. Okay. So our 14th group elements with hydrogen, the compounds are called as hydrides. Here, the general formula of these hydrides is MH4 type hydrides. So M is our 14th group element, hydrogen. MH4 type hydrates are the product. MH4 type hydrates. See here, it's a carbon with CH4, silicon with H4, carbon, silicon, germanium, tin, lead. Tin, lead. So these are the hydrates, boys. What are the names of these compounds? It is called as methane. It is silane. It is germane. It is stannane. It is plumbane. It is plumbane. Boys, so this is the only hydrides. Only hydride of PBN. So no other hydrates are possible. No other hydrates are possible. But SN can also give one more hydrates, boys. That is SN2H6. SN2H6, which is called as distannane. Which is called as distannane. Okay. But silicon, this silicon gives SiN times H2N plus 2 times N. That is alkanes formula. Carbon N times hydrogen 2N plus 2. Just like alkanes, these silicon compounds are called as silanes. So this is called as silane. Here, that is N value. Here N value 2 to 10 N. Here N value 2 to 10. Disilane, trisilane, like that. Okay. So that means silicon can give a compounds with the general formula CSiN times H2N. These are the other compounds. Along with these compounds, so these other compounds are also possible. But carbon, so this gives number of other type of hydrides, other type of hydrides are possible. What are those? That is alkanes, alkenes, alkynes, that is cycloalkanes, and also that is in particular that is aromatic hydrocarbons, all these are other types of hydrates. So that means carbon with hydrogen and numerous compounds are possible, but silicon only this formation possible. Other combinations. So stannum only dicondition, but lead. That means the formation of hydrides from top to bottom decreases. The formation of hydrides from top to bottom decreases because stability decreases. See here, boys. These hydrides stability, that is a tetrahydrides. So tetrahydrides stability from top to bottom decreases. So tetrahydrides stability from top to bottom decreases. Very, very important. So because, why sir, why this stability decreases? Because bond length increases, bond energy decreases, bond length increases, bond energy decreases. Therefore, thermal stability decreases. Therefore, thermal stability decreases. That means all the tetrahydrides from top to bottom stability decreases. So tetrahydrides from top to bottom the stability decreases. So see here, boys, I'm explaining with an explanation. That is here carbon with hydrogen bond, strong bond. Silicon with hydrogen a little bit more. So germanium with hydrogen a little bit more distance. Bond length, see boys, bond length a little bit increases. Lead little bit increases. That means top to bottom bond length increases. That means easy to break. Easy to break means bond energy decreases. That means thermal stability decreases. Thermal stability. That means it is easy to break. That means less stable end. It is difficult to break. That's why it is more stable end. That means the stability, thermal stability from top to bottom decreases. That means from where hydrogen is quickly out. Tell me, boys. So from where hydrogen is ready to come out. That is from lead or from carbon. Tell me. Tell me. That is from lead. That means which gives hydrogen readily. Yes, correct, boys. Which gives hydrogen readily. That is the best reducing agent. Therefore, PbH4 is the good reducing agent, but CH4 is the not that much reducing agent. Therefore, reducing power from top to bottom increases. Reducing power from top to bottom increases. Therefore, no need 10. No particular individualities. It is general concepts. Okay. So therefore, yes, it is yes, Sandra. Thank you. It is yes, Sandra. Thank you. Okay. See here. So top to bottom, bond length increases, bond energy decreases, thermal stability decreases. Therefore, hydrogen donating tendency increases. Therefore, reducing property increases. So therefore, now the order of thermal stability. The order of thermal stability. That is the order of thermal stability is CH4. What is that? CH4 is more stable than CH4, SiH4, germanium, carbon, silicon, germanium, tin, lead. So germanium, tin, lead. This is the order of thermal stability, boys. Now, next point, melting point and boiling points from top to bottom increases. Very, very important. Melting and boiling points from top to bottom increases. Why, sir? Why melting and boiling points increases? Because these molecules, molecular weights increases from top to bottom. First point. So because molecular weights top to bottom increases. As molecular weight increases, van der Waals forces increases. As van der Waals forces increases, melting and boiling points increases. So van der Waals forces increases, attractive forces increases. And as attractive forces increases between the molecules, it is difficult to separate those molecules. That is why. Yes, it is in hydrides only. That too in tetrahydrides only. So therefore, melting and boiling points of these tetrahydrides from top to bottom increases. Melting. That means alkanes have, that is methane has low melting and boiling point. But others, lead has high melting and boiling point. So this is about melting and boiling point. Reducing property increases, melting and boiling point also increases. Melting and boiling point also increases. It is very, very, very important. Okay, because of increase in van der Waals forces from top to bottom. Next, reactivity. That is methane with hydrolysis or reaction with NaOH. No reaction. That means methane never involved in hydrolysis, even directly or in the presence of alkali. So with NaOH, methane reaction is almost not possible. But other compounds can react with alkalis. But other compounds, that is SiH4, when reacts with NaOH, that gives, that is in the presence of water, that is aqueous condition, that gives Na2SiO3 plus hydrogen gas is evolving. Similarly, Si2H6, it is also reacts with NaOH with water, That gives, so I'm taking, let us take KOH. Both are same boys. K2SiO3 and also liberates hydrogen gas. That means, so monosilane, disilane, or whatever it may be, silicon reacts with water and not only water, with alkali also possible, and liberates hydrogen gas. And liberates hydrogen gas. That is, sodium silicate is the product. Sodium silicate is the product. Okay. So that means reactivity increases. Reactivity increases. Why, sir? Why methane not involved in the reaction, but SiH4 involved in the reaction with water? Because carbon has no d orbitals in the outermost orbit, but silicon has d orbital. So see here. So that is carbon. Reason, carbon outermost orbit has no d orbitals, but silicon outermost orbit has d orbitals. So therefore, hydrolysis takes place in silicon, but not in carbon. Okay. Next, and also see here, boys. So carbon with hydrogen, carbon electronegativity hydrogen electronegativity 2.1, carbon electronegativity 2.5. So electronegativity of carbon is more than that of hydrogen. Carbon gets partial negative charge, hydrogen gets partial positive charge. Carbon gets partial negative charge, hydrogen gets partial positive charge. That means carbon gets negative charge. Therefore, here carbon is in reduced form, negative one. But in case of silicon, that is SiH4. So hydrogen electronegativity 2.1, silicon electronegativity 1.8. That means hydrogen is more electronegative than silicon. Hydrogen gets partial negative charge, silicon gets positive charge. That means electron deficiency at silicon is possible, and because of that, so electron pair donors, that is nothing but bases or whatever it may be, so attracted by silicon. Yes, silicon has d orbitals. That's why lone pair is attracted by silicon. Okay, that's why reaction is possible. That is why reaction. Here silicon gets positive charge, carbon gets negative charge. That is why here no reaction takes place. Here reaction takes place. Okay. Next means, that is these are good reducing agents in alkali medium. Next, these are good reducing agents in alkali medium because these liberate hydrogen. That hydrogen liberated hydrogen acts as reducing agent. So therefore, with alkalis, these are good reducing agents. Next, and most important point wise. So the order of stability, of these hydrides, towards alkali is towards alkali. Boys, order of stability of these hydrides towards alkali. That means if NaOH not reacts with that particular compound, that is more stable. Non-reactive tendency. Non-reactive tendency is nothing but order, boys. So see here, that is methane, no reaction, greater than ZeH4, next chance, which is greater than SnH4, which is greater than SiH4. That means CH4 is very stable towards NaOH. That means almost non-reaction, no reaction. So see here, so no reaction with alkali. No reaction with alkali. But here attacked by almost 33% alkali. Here attacked by 30% alkali. But it is attacked attacked even with water. No alkali is required. Even with water. That means CSIH4 ready to react with water and also ready to react with NaOH, because the water is nothing but best nucleophile. So NaOH is also best nucleophile. Reacts with nucleophiles. Reacts with nucleophiles. So because of availability of, this is due to availability of MTDR gas. Availability of MTDR gas, that is very reactive towards NaOH and also even with water, and it is almost non-reactive with water molecules. So this is order of stability of these hydrides in our situation, in our hydrides. So very, very important reaction with alkalis. Almost methane non-reaction with water and also NaOH. So this is about hydrides. This is about hydrides. Now, next subheading, halides. Halides. Second compounds, halides. Halides. So our elements with halogen compounds. Our elements with halogen compounds. Okay. So what is that halogen compounds? What type of halogen compounds are possible? See here. So our elements generally exhibit +2 oxidation state and also +4 oxidation state. Halogen has -1 oxidation state. Therefore, here MX2 type halides are possible. Here MX4 type halides are possible. These are called as dihalides, and this is tetrahalides. Therefore, 14th group elements can form two types of halides, that is dihalides and tetrahalides. So, but carbon and silicon, only +4 is most stable and almost +2 not exists. Therefore, carbon and silicon cannot form dihalides. So, first point, carbon and silicon not form dihalides. So because of small size, and +4 is more stable than +2, almost +2 not exists. Almost +2 not exists. So because of that, so dihalides not possible from carbon and silicon, and others can form dihalides. What are those others? Carbon, except carbon, silicon, germanium, tin, lead. Germanium, tin, lead. These can form dihalides of the type. So germanium difluoride, germanium dichloride, germanium dibromide, germanium diiodide. Next, SnF2, ZeF2, SnCl2, SnBr2, SnI2 is possible. PbF2, PbCl2, PbBr2, and PbI2 exists. PbI2 exists. So all these dihalides are ionic in nature. That means all dihalides are ionic compounds. All dihalides are ionic compounds. Now, tetrahalides. All elements can form tetrahalides. All elements can form tetrahalides. That means carbon CF4, carbon CCl4, CBr4, CI4. Next, similarly, carbon silicon SiF4, next SiCl4, SiBr4, SiF4. Germanium GeF4, GeCl4, Br4, Ge is I4, Ge I4, Sn F4, SnCl4, SnBr4, SnI4 exists. Next, PbF4, PbCl4, PbBr4, PbI4. These are existers. Boys, yesterday we covered this point. PbI4 exists as splits easy to splits into PbI2 and I2. PbI4 splits into PbI2 and I2. So because of least stability. Next, except SnF4 and PbF4, these two compounds are ionic. These two compounds are ionic. All other compounds are covalent. All other compounds are covalent. Very, very, very important. That means dihalides are ionic in nature. Most of the tetrahalides, except these two compounds, all our tetrahalides are covalent in nature. All our tetrahalides are covalent in nature. Next, reducing property of these tetrahalides. So note down the points. I'm writing here. First point, reducing power of tetrahalides. Reducing power of tetrahalides, tetrahalide ions increases from top to bottom. So increases, just a minute boys, reducing power of halide ions, not a tetrahalide. So reducing power of halide ions increases from top to bottom. Increases from top to bottom. Okay. So see here boys, stability of these halides. So next point, stability of halides. Stability of halides decreases down the groove. So stability of these halides. What are those halides? Tetrahalides. Tetrahalides decreases down the groove. Because boys, here carbon +4 is stable. Here lead +2 is stable, but +4 is unstable. That is why it is more stable, it is less stable. Stability from top to bottom, +4 stability from top to bottom. +4 stability from top to bottom decreases. That is why these halides stability also decreases from top to bottom. These halide stability also decreases from top to bottom. Therefore, order. Stability order. Stability order. That is CX4 greater than SiX4 greater than germanium X4 greater than tin X4 PbX4. And this is the order of stability, boys. So for a particular element, for different halides, that is CF4, CBr4, CCl4, among for a particular element, different halides are there. Chlorides are more stable than chlorides. Chlorides are more stable than bromides. That is for a particular element. For a particular element, the stability order is fluoride greater than chloride greater than bromide greater than iodide. That means that is CF4 is more stable than CCl4, which is more stable than CBr4, which is more stable than CI4, which is more stable than CI4. So this is very, very, very important, boys. Okay. Next, that is How to get CF4? See boys, that is CF4, that is, it is CH4 and listen carefully at 3 points. This is CH4, this is treated with fluorine, that gives CF4 is the product. All those hydrogens are replaced with fluorine. See boys, here hydrogen is a small size atom and fluorine also. So fluorine also small size and but little more size than hydrogen. So where I am comparing hydrogen and fluorine boys, hydrogen has a small size, fluorine also small size, but little more than hydrogen. So that is why all those hydrogens are easy to replace with fluorine. That is why reaction of hydrocarbons with fluorine is very, very vigorous and fast reaction. So therefore, hydrogens are ready to replace with this fluorine. So that means because almost the same size, that means so that same size atoms are easily replaceable. So that is why this is possible. And this formed fluorocompound is chemically inert. This formed fluorocompound is chemically inert, almost non-reactive. Why, sir? Why CH4 is reactive but CF4 is non-reactive? Why this happened? Why chemically this is CF4? Fluorocompounds are non-reactive. See here. So this is carbon, boys. This is carbon. So fluorine. These fluorine atoms almost shield-like. So that is a layer-like, shield-like arrangement is possible. Almost no gap. So I am representing like this. So carbon, all 4 fluorines are like this. All fluorines are like this. Okay. So that means, so almost no gap for the attacking of next elements to carbon. Almost no gap. So because of that, so no further element reacts with carbon if fluorine is there. Because when compared to here, these are carbon, and these are fluorine atoms. Here carbon, these are hydrogen atoms, small size. So that's why there is a gap to attack the carbon, but here almost no gap. So because no gap, why sir? Why no gap is there? Because fluorine size is little bit more than that of hydrogen, almost gaps. Without gap, almost carbon is covered. That means the fluorine shields that carbon, That means isolates carbon from other compounds. That's why almost non-reactive. That is why fluorocompounds are almost non-reactive. That is why these are called as chemically inert. At the same time, see here. In CH4, there is carbon with hydrogen bonds are there. Here hydrogen electron 2.1, carbon electron 2.5. So therefore, this carbon gets negative charge, hydrogen gets positive charge. So that means bond polarity, carbon gets negative, hydrogen gets positive. Next, CF4, carbon with fluorine. Fluorine 4.0, carbon has a 2.5. So almost fluorine gets negative charge, carbon gets positive charge. Almost ionic nature is there. Strong attractive forces are exist between carbon and fluorine. Almost, see here, 2.5, 4.5, 4.0, 4 minus 2.5, almost 1.5 and more ionic nature. So strong attraction between carbon and fluorine. That means more shielded. Because of that, almost non-reactive. Next, so here CF bond energy is very high because more ionic nature. Therefore, water and no other compounds are not attacked by this CF4 molecule. Next point. Note down the point. Each and every point is important, boys. Next. So therefore, so finally, size of hydrogen atom is almost equal to size of fluorine atom, but fluorine atom is little bit more in size. That means CH4 and CF4 almost have same melting and boiling points because almost the sizes are same. So see the observations, melting and boiling points of our hydrocarbons and comparison with our halogen compounds. Let us observe. So melting and boiling points comparison, boys. So I'm taking compounds with melting and boiling point. I'm taking boiling point in degrees centigrade. Boiling point in degrees centigrade. First of all, methane. Methane. Its a boiling point minus 101 degrees centigrade. Similar to CF4. CF4. Its a boiling point minus 128. So this is one pair. Boys, among CH4 and CF4, whose boiling point is high? Whose boiling point is high? Minus means minus, as usual in your mathematics. Minus low temperature, negative temperatures. Which one has more boiling point? So CF4. CH4 has more boiling point than CF4. Next, let us observe other cases. C2H6. C2H6. So its boiling point minus 88. Next, C2F6 and its boiling point is minus 80. This is the comparison. This is the comparison. Whose boiling point is high? Whose boiling point is high? CH4. Tell me, boys. Among CH4 and CF4, among CH4 and CF4, boiling point of methane is greater than that of this one. But here, boiling point of this one is more than that of this one. Reverse case applicable. Reverse case. Next, otherwise that is C3H8. C3H8. It has minus 44 value. C3F8. Its value is minus 38 value. So here also this value is more. Fluorocompound value is more. So it is more. Here it is more. But here it is more. Next, in case of C5H12, C5H12, so here it is 36 degrees is the boiling point, and C5F12, F12, here 22 degrees is the boiling point. So now, so up to these compounds, fluorocompounds have more boiling points than hydrocarbons. But here is the difference. Here is the difference. But after onwards, hydrocarbons boiling point greater than halogen compounds. Afterwards, so that is very, very, very important. So hydrocarbons boiling point is greater than halogen compounds. That is after C5. After C5, it is applicable. Before C5, fluorocompounds have more boiling point than hydrocarbons. But the exceptional case is CH4 and CF4. So what we expected, that is CF4 has more boiling point than that of CH4. But actually, what we observe, CH4 has more boiling point than that of CF4. What is the reason behind it? What is the reason? Here, the boiling point of CH4 greater than boiling point of CF4. What is the reason behind it? The reason behind it is, the C observe, that is CH4. It is CH4. So hydrogen gets negative charge, that is positive charge, carbon gets negative charge. In CF4, Fluorine gets negative charge, carbon gets positive charge. So each fluorine has a 3-3 lone pairs. Very small size atom, boys. 3-3 lone pairs. So this is one molecule, and similar molecule also here and see with the fluorine atoms. So between lone pair and molecule, because more lone pairs are available and small size, so between these two, repulsions dominates. Repulsions dominates. Because of repulsions, so boiling point is low. So that means here lone pair repulsions are possible. So because fluorine, so this one gets negative charge, this one gets negative charge. So this one gets, so C4 also the same thing applicable. C4 also. Okay. So this is applicable, boys. So that is why. So CF4 has less boiling point because of repulsions. Repulsions dominates molecular attractions. That means repulsions dominates molecular attractions. Therefore, boiling point of CF4 is less than that of CH4. Boiling point of CF4 is less than that of CH4. So, but other cases are as usual. Next point. Next point. It is very, very important point. Comparison between hydrocarbons and respect to fluorocompounds, because hydrogen and fluorine have almost the same size, but not electronegativity. Okay. Next, carbon halides, CCl4, not reacts with water, no reaction. But SiCl4 reacts with water. There is a reaction. SiCl4 reacts with water, but CCl4 no reaction with water. Why, sir? Reason already we explained, boys. So silicon, it has d orbitals. Therefore, so coordinate covalent bonds are possible. Already we explained. Because of that reason, it is possible. Okay. Next one. So carbon CCl4, that is nothing but carbon halides, has no d orbitals. Therefore, no electron pair accepting tendency. Therefore, not acts as Lewis acid. Not acts as Lewis acid. That means generally our halogen compounds are acts as good Lewis acids. Electron pair accept us. But not carbon halogen. Because carbon has no d orbitals, not accepts electron pair. That's why these are not acts as Lewis acid. But other compounds, other element halogen compounds acts as good Lewis acids because of availability of d orbitals. But other elements, halogen compounds, are good Lewis acids due to the availability of d orbitals. Those are empty d orbitals. So availability of empty d orbitals, those are good Lewis acids. So see here, what is the reaction? That is SiF4. When reacts with 2NaF, that gives Na2SiF6. Na2SiF6. So it is a complex compound, boys. It is a complex compound. How this is possible? See here. That is silicon, SiF4. But from NaF, 2 F minus ions. So these 2 F minus ions. So it has 2 empty d orbitals, boys. Because of that, this donates this one, this donates this one. So automatically SiF6 coordinate covalent bonds. minus ion is positive. So why, sir? Because of availability of d orbitals. Like this, every element other than carbon has d orbitals and acts as electron pair acceptors. Therefore, all those acts as good Lewis acid. Therefore, SiCl4 is the Lewis acid, but not CCl4. SiCl4 involved in hydrolysis, but not CCl4. But not CCl4. Because of this reason. Because of this reasons. Okay. So next, silicon can form complex compounds only with fluorine. Silicon can form complex compounds only with fluorine. These are fluorine atoms, boys. So fluorine has that tendency. That is why silicon can form only complex compounds with fluorine atoms. Because of this reason, that it has greater tendency. Okay. Next point. Silicon exhibits more catenation power in halides than in hydrocompounds, hydrides. That means, so catenation means self-linkage of similar atoms. Halogen compounds, in halogen compounds, silicon gives more catenation power, but very less in case of hydrides. Why, sir? See here, I am taking silicon with fluorides. Like this, number of compounds are possible. I am taking here. So with silicon and fluorine has lone pairs, silicon has empty orbital, boys, a back bond possibility. So because of back bond formation, double bond character, bond strength is more. Because bond strength increases, automatically catenation power increases. That is not happen in case of hydrogen. In hydrogen compounds, so see here, SiH. So no back bonding. Weak bond, less catenation. But here, back bonding, strong bonding, more catenation. That is why. So in halogen compounds, silicon gives more catenation power. In halogen compounds, silicon gives more catenation power, and it is very, very, very important. Next. CCl4 with water, no reaction. CCl4 with water, no reaction. Okay, why not? Why not, sir? Already I explained, boys. So due to no d orbitals. In particular, no empty d orbitals. It is better. Empty d orbitals. No empty d orbitals. Okay, what that is Cl4. So there is water molecule. Lone pair. This is donation. No empty orbital. That is a no donation is possible. No reaction takes place. But in case of silicon, there is an empty orbital. Here is water molecule, boys. So lone pair is possible. So this donates this one. So that gives silicon. It is a slow reaction, boys. It is a slow reaction that gives silicon with chlorine, 4 chlorines with H2O. So slowly this is removed. That gives silicon, 3 chlorines and 1 OH plus HCl. That is possible, boys. That is possible. Like this. So minus HCl. So 3 times possible. That gives Si 4 OH groups. Si 4 OH groups, which is called as, which is also I'm writing this one as SiOH 4 times. SiOH 4 times, which is also I'm writing H4SiO4. H4SiO4, which is called as silicic acid. Silicic acid. If this silicic acid is heated, mild heating, one water molecule is eliminated, one water molecule minus H2O, that gives, so H2O loss, that is H2SiO3 is the product, which is called as metasilicic acid. Metasilicic acid. If it is heated strongly heating in, so 2 water molecules are lost. Here also 1 water molecule lost. That gives SiO2 is the product, which is called as silicon. It is the oxide form of silicon. It is the oxide form of silicon. That means silicic acid is formed. If it is strongly heated, 2 water molecules lost, SiO2 is the product. If it is mild heating, slight heating, that gives only 1 water molecule lost, that gives metasilicic acid. So this is about the reaction of our SiCl4 with water molecule. So this is facilitated due to the presence of this empty d plus. That means existence of empty d plus gives hydrolysis reactions. That hydrolysis reactions, the rate of hydrolysis in case of silicon compounds, the rate of hydrolysis in silicon compounds is SiF4 greater than SiCl4 greater than SiBr4 greater than SiI4. SiI4. So it is very, very important. It is the order of rate of hydrolysis. It is the order of rate of hydrolysis. Next, reaction with other, that is SiF4 reaction. SiF4 reaction. That is when SiF4 reacts with 4 water molecules, that gives, just like in previous case, H4SiO4 plus 4H21. Sorry, 4HF is the product. 4HF is the product. Once again, if SiF4, that is 2 moles, reacts with 4HF, further reacts, gives 2H2SiF4. Is this balanced? 4 plus 8. 4 plus 8, 12. 2H2SiF4. Not F4, it is F6 end. Yes. H2SiF6. This is the product, boys. And now add these 2 equations. 12 as balanced. Fluorosilicic acid. It is a fluorosilicic acid. It is a fluorosilicic acid. So add these 2 equations. These 2 are cancelled. That is SiF4, 3 times 3SiF4 plus 4H2O gives H4SiO4 plus 2H2SiF6. It is orthosilicic acid. It is fluorosilicic acid. So both are acids, boss. So both are acid compounds are formed. Both are acid compounds are formed. So this is about the reactions of our halides. Now all these halides are colorless compounds except 2 compounds. So next point, that is all halides are colorless except 1. That is a PbI2, lead iodide. it is yellow color. It is yellow in color, PbI2. At the same time, SnI2, it is orange color. This color is due to charge transfer phenomenon. Is this concept, this color. So generally the color is explained with the help of unpaired electrons. Having unpaired electrons, colored, no unpaired electron, colorless. But sometimes, even though there is no unpaired electrons, charge is transferred from anion to cation or cation to anion because of polarization. Charge transfer takes place. Because of the charge transfer, so those may also exit colors any. So that concept is applied here. So that's why PbI2 and SnI2 are yellow and orange color. So these colors are due to charge transfer phenomena. Charge transfer phenomena. Okay. Next, carbon and silicon can also form polyhalides. Example, polytetrafluoroethylene. Nothing but Teflon. Teflon is an example to polyhalogen compound. Teflon. So these are some properties about that halogen compounds. Very, very, very important. So most important topic in this case is particularly halogen compounds. Next subheading, oxygen compounds. That is oxides. Next subheading, oxides. Oxides. What about this oxide? Our element with oxygen compounds are called as oxides. Once again, these are binary compounds of element with oxygen. So our element can exhibit +2 oxygen state and also +4 oxygen state. +2 oxygen state and +4 oxygen state. So +2 oxygen has -2. That means this combination gives MO type oxides. This combination gives MO2 type oxides. These are called as monoxides. These are called as dioxides. That means 14th group elements gives two types of oxides. Those are monoxides and dioxides. So let us observe. That is carbon monoxide, silicon monoxide, carbon silicon, germanium monoxide, tin monoxide, lead monoxide. Next, dioxides. Carbon dioxide, silicon dioxide, germanium dioxide, tin dioxide, and lead dioxide. Lead dioxide. These are the oxides, boys. Along with carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide, carbon can also form another oxide, that is sesquioxide, which is called as carbon suboxide, that is C3O2, which is called as carbon suboxide. Carbon suboxide, boys, that is sesquioxide. That is sesquioxide. Okay. So here, carbon monoxide, it is neutral oxide. Neutral oxide. So next, carbon SiO. This is almost unstability. Already the concept I covered at the time of p-pi bond formation. P-pi bond formation. COO. CO is exists but not SiO in Japan. So that's why please go and search there. So p-pi bond formation. The example is like this. So CO exists and SiO almost not exists. It is unstable. It is unstable. Next, these two monoxides are acidic in nature. This is neutral in nature. Carbon monoxide is neutral. So silicon monoxide and germanium oxides are acidic oxides. Next, these three oxides are acidic oxides. Next, these four oxides, monoxides and dioxides of tin and lead, these are amphibolic in nature. These two are amphibolic in nature. That means top to bottom, acidic nature decreases. Acidic nature because metallic nature increases. The non-metal oxides are acidic in nature. Metal oxides are basic in nature. So that means acidic nature decreases. No doubt here also there, boys. So carbon dioxide acidic in nature. SiO2 It is acidic, it is acidic, it is acidic. But these two are amphoteric oxides. Very, very, very important. Boys, carbon monoxide. It is a neutral oxide. In our first year and second year entire chemistry, only 3 neutral oxides. One is carbon monoxide. Another one is NO, nitric oxide. And the other one is N2O. N2O, nitrous oxide, laughing gas. These are the only 3 neutral oxides, boys. CO, NO, NO. Sorry, N2O, N2O. These are the only neutral oxides. Now we are in CO condition. So CO, it is a neutral oxide. It is neutral oxide. In CO, the bonds like this, carbon, oxygen, there is double bond and a dative bond, boys, between carbon and oxygen. Oxygen gives carbon. So here is lone pair, here is lone pair. So this is the structure of CO molecule. That is the structure of CO molecule. Here this is a P5 bond formation. So this type of bond formation is not available in case of SiO. Therefore, SiO is the least stable, almost unstable, very, very unstable. So that's why SiO almost not exists, but CO is existing because of formation of the P5 bond formation. P5 bond formation. Next, among PbO and PbO2, here Pb is in +2 state, here Pb is +4 state. Lead has +2 is more stable than +4. That's why it is unstable, it is stable. So therefore, it is easily converted into +4, easily converted to +2. +4 to +2, that is reduction. Involved in reduction acts as oxidizing agent. Therefore, PbO2 acts as good oxidizing agent. PbO2 acts as good oxidizing agent because Pb there +4 state. +4 state of Pb is very, very unstable. That's why easily converts into stable form and that is +2 state. So that's why that acts as good oxidizing agent. It itself involved in reduction and acts as oxidizing agent. Next, here carbon monoxide. This acts as good reducing agent. Carbon has +4 is more stable than +2. Therefore, easily converted into carbon dioxide. Carbon monoxide ready to convert into carbon dioxide. That's why oxidation takes place. That's why itself involved in reduction. So therefore, so it is a good reducing agent. It acts as good oxidizing agent. It acts as good oxidizing agent. Next, among monoxides and dioxides are more acidic. Dioxides are more acidic. Boys, for a single element, as oxidation state of central element increases, acidic nature also increases. See here. So SiO here +2, SiO2 here +4. So +4 is more acidic than +4. So as oxidation state of the element increases, acidic nature of its oxide also increases. Therefore, dioxides are more acidic than monoxides. Here these are +4, it is +2. Therefore, dioxides are more acidic than monoxides. Dioxides are more acidic than monoxides. Okay. Next, some of the reactions which are involved in carbon monoxide preparation and its properties. About carbon monoxide. See here. Carbon monoxide, carbon plus oxygen reaction. So that is incomplete combustion. Gives carbon monoxide. Incomplete combustion gives carbon monoxide. It is one of the preparation methods of carbon monoxide. Next, carbon dioxide reacts with cocaine, red hot coke. That gives carbon monoxide. That gives carbon monoxide. Okay, it is second way. Next, carbon dioxide reacts with Pb. That gives carbon monoxide and Pb1. So these are the preparation methods of carbon monoxide. So this carbon monoxide bond with blue flame, boys, and used as a fuel. Carbon monoxide. Next. So see here the reactions. Carbon dioxide. So carbon monoxide, there is carbon dioxide when reacts with magnesium metal. Magnesium metal, it is burning, boys. Burning. Magnesium bond in carbon dioxide, that gives magnesium oxide plus carbon. Magnesium oxide plus carbon. So 2, 2 only. So here carbon plus 4 is changed to 0. Reduced acts as oxidizing agent but mild oxidizing agent. CO2 in this reaction acts as oxidizing agent but weak oxidizing agent, mild oxidizing agent. But PbO2 acts as good reducing agent. So PbO2, a good reducing agent, and can reduce HCl to Cl2. Here it is -1, it is 0. So oxidized. That is with the help of PbO2. Let us observe the reaction. PbO2 reacts with 4HCl, gives PbCl2 plus 2H2O plus Cl2 is the product. Plus Cl2. Here chlorine oxidation state -1. Here chlorine oxidation state 0. So that is oxidized, boys. So that oxidation takes place with PbO2. It is a good oxidizing agent. It is the best example for oxidizing agent. So PbO2 acts as good oxidizing agent. Okay. Next, when Pb burns in air, only monoxide is permanent. That is, a Pb plus O2 gives only PbO is the product. Pb, lead monoxide is the only product, boys. Monoxide is the only product. So this is only possible. So this is about oxides and dioxides. Already we are explaining about CO2 and SiO2 structures, CO2 and CO structures. All those we are covered at the time of previous topics, boys. So all those are important. Next, about suboxides. So carbon suboxide, last topic for this today's class, that is carbon suboxide. See here, it is CH2, CO, OH. It is also CO, OH. It is called as malonic acid. Simply CH2, COOH twice. So this is, I am representing like this. So this is dehydration. Means removal of water molecules. So this dehydration is done with P4O10, phosphorus pentoxide. It is a dehydrating agent. By using the dehydrating agent, and sometimes this is represented as P2O5 also. It is a dimer of P2O5 and so it is the best dehydrating agent. So from that, here H2O and H2O are lost. Two water molecules lost. So between these two, a pi bond. Between these two, a pi bond is formed. That is C, double bond C, double bond C, double bond O, double bond. It is a carbon suboxide. That is nothing but C3O2. Here carbon is in +2 oxygen state. Here is in +2 oxygen state, but here is carbon 0. Oxygen gets -2 oxygen state. Oxygen gets -4. So the middle central carbon has 0 oxidation state. It is about C3O2. It is a preparation of C3O2, carbon suboxide. Okay. For example, if this carbon suboxide, if water is added, automatically, so malonic acid is the product. Once again, so water is removed from malonic acid, suboxide is the product. So to suboxide, water is added. So once again, malonic acid. So reversible reactions are also possible, guys. Reversible reactions are also possible. Okay. It is very, very, very important. It is very, very. So it is a way to prepare carbon suboxide or oxygen states of carbon also there. Okay. Every carbon is in sp hybridization. Linear molecule. Every carbon is in sp hybridization, linear molecule. So what are the oxygen states of carbon? Middle carbon has zero oxygen state. So two terminal carbons have plus 2 oxygen state. Both the oxygens have minus 2 oxygen state. Minus 2 oxygen state. Yes, it is for advanced. Next, see boys, note point, note point. Solid CO2, which is also called as dry ice, which is also called as carbonate, used as refrigerant. Used as refrigerant. Boys, so for cooling ice creams like very important materials, so very low temperatures are required. So those low temperatures are created with this solid CO2. This is solid CO2. Okay, so that's why it is used as refrigerant conditioning. So this is about oxides of our 14th group element.